honourable member for Calgary-Fish Creek.
Mr. Speaker, recent news articles highlight this government's interference in the independent operations of AIMCo. Notable was the director of the infamous out-of-province issues managers directing AIMCo executives to call the authors of the original expose. Then political staff ironically directed AIMCo to massage public messaging and press releases and talking points to counter impressions that AIMCo's independence was compromised. To the Minister of Finance, can you please explain to Albertans how meddling in AIMCo's operations by the Premier's office preserves their independence?
Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, I've stood up and said there is no meddling with regard to the independence of AIMCo. The President and CEO of AIMCo has said the same thing to people at the Heritage Trust Committee. Mr. Speaker, I don't know how much clearer we can be. You know, I'm going to be meeting later this afternoon with the Chair and the President of AIMCo because we work together, Mr. Speaker. That's what's expected. Albertans want their Crown agencies to work closely with government to make sure we all work in the best interest of Albertans.
First supplemental.
Mr. Speaker, given if AIMCo is truly independent, decisions and investments should not be guided by the NDP worldview, nor should political credit be taken. And given that the interference highlighted in the articles indicate that the NDP tried to spin an AIMCo investment which was used for debt refinancing as somehow diversifying the economy and creating jobs. To the Premier, if AIMCo is indeed independent, why are you re-announcing their deals, spinning them for political gain, and treating AIMCo as your own green slush fund?
The Honourable Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Again, as I said, I'll be meeting later this afternoon with the President and the Chair of AIMCo, and we continue to have discussions about everything, Mr. Speaker. Not about investment decisions so much, because that's their operations ability. It's more about, you know, does AIMCo and the government, are we aligned? Are we aligned? And with regard to normal communications with government and public serving agencies, we are aligned, Mr. Speaker.
Second supplemental.
Mr. Speaker, given that's aligned with the NDP worldview, and given the articles note the Minister of Economic Development was fully aware of CalFRAC, had not signed off on government news releases, and given that the Minister's lack of due diligence caused the unnecessary confusion, prompting the Premier's office demands for a briefing out no later than first thing tomorrow morning, and direct involvement in drafting a press release blaming AIMCo for providing flawed guidance. Wow. To the Minister of Economic Development, we all make mistakes. Why did you make AIMCo executives take blame for yours?
I want to assure this House that I have great confidence in the people at AIMCo. I have great confidence in the independent decisions they are making on investments at AIMCo, and they are doing a great job for Albertans and bringing money back to the Treasury that we use to address the programs and services. This side would cut programs and services. This side would leave Albertans adrift, just like the Premier of Saskatchewan is leaving his citizens adrift.